Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Banana. Check. Okay, the reason I used the word banana, I don't think no one's ever gonna notice, but the reason I use the word banana is because that word contains all the specific syllables for like audio checking and stuff. But don't quote me on that. Just checking the resolution. I think it's fine. Hopefully no blurredness. Okay, Ria is here with the confirmation saying all good. Perfect. Uh, Appreciated. So I can actually stop listening to myself. I'm gonna try changing the screen. See, the screen change never works. That's the issue. Like for some reason. Okay, perfect. Okay, so people, welcome to Estudly live episode. What is it? 16. Okay, so last week we kind of missed on a live for personal reasons, but no worries. We will probably be regular. Hopefully, you guys had fun with the podcast, which we released last Monday. Expect 2 podcasts per month, okay? Because it's really difficult to get all the guys together. Because a lot of us are students or we are working, so yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys had fun with the podcast and stuff because there is more stuff to come. Do not worry. Uh, Anyways, we have 3 people watching, which is a good sign that the live is working. Also, if someone's curious, the way I check this is I have my laptop, the main computer, on Wi-Fi, right? And my mobile works on a completely different network, so I can actually monitor the stream. If something goes wrong, I can actually just see what goes wrong on a completely different network because well, you cannot trust Wi-Fi. Okay, so starting with the first story, which is the EU, not EU countries offer cyber defense assistance to Ukraine. Okay, so now if you do not know what is going on in the world, let me bring up the face cam for just 1 minute. Now we can discuss. Okay, so unless you have being living under a rock, on basically the 25th of February, Russia decided to invade Ukraine. Okay, so basically there's an all-out war going on, and it's not technically a world war, but it might as well be. Okay, so Russia has decided to, yes, I know this is tech news, but not like normal news, but bear with me. So Russia decided to invade Ukraine because it thinks that Ukraine should be part of Russia against their will or something. But okay, no political stance there. But yeah, that's basically what's been happening, and there's an entire conflict now. Just because the war is happening in 2022, the war is not just happening with the soldiers, but it's also happening online with the cyber. Okay, and if you're imagining a bunch of guys in hoodies in like trying to hack each other and all that stuff, that's not exactly true. Basically what's happening is it's not just people hacking each other, but also the banks and adverts and all the companies. Like it's also economical warfare kind of. So they are a bunch of companies decided that, hey, you know what, we're going to cut ties with Russia. And the Swift banking system, it's basically like a banking system. They said that, hey, now it's not going to work for a bunch of Russians, which is really bad for the economy and stuff. But if you're wondering, crypto is still active. That's the reason cryptocurrency is decentralized. So that means no single entity controls the cryptocurrency. And that's why cryptocurrency is still active in both Ukraine and Russia. It doesn't matter what's going on. Okay, so that's, I just wanted to throw this out there. Now coming back to our main story, and we obviously have missed our screen. One of these days, I'm gonna find a fix for this. It's just not today. Okay, so EU, which is the European Union countries, that entire union of countries, they have decided to offer cyber defense assistance to the Ukraine. Okay, so basically, what happened? Russian hackers hacked a bunch of Ukrainian bank websites and stuff, and so it was like two of their websites, two of their entire banks were down, and so now they have this counter cyber defense stuff, and so yeah, sorry, counter cyber offense, which is basically cyber defense. So yeah, they are just helping with this. There's an entire article, you can read this into detail. Once again, this entire thing is a thing in progress. So the like I know you are getting this news live, but it might already be outdated by tomorrow. So make sure you guys do your own research on this entire topic. But yeah, right now EU is helping Ukraine at least with the cyber defense. Okay, so Ukraine also has called up for volunteer hackers to protect critical infrastructure. Now, this is actually very interesting. The government of Ukraine on Twitter took it upon themselves to ask people to, like, hey, could you like help us hack Russian websites? And actually, they have their own Telegram group. You can actually join their Telegram group. I cannot show it right now on my screen, but there is a link. I'll put it down in the description. If I forget, please someone remind me. It's a group where the Ukrainian government actually gives out tasks to normal people, or anyone who's tech savvy, for them to go and DDoS attack the Russian website, or try to hack the website. They're actually just putting it out there that, hey, this website is on. Why don't you go and hack that website? Which I think is really interesting, and this wouldn't have happened in like 1940s or 1930s, like during World War One or World War Two. But yeah, this is what's happening, and volunteers are helping Ukraine take down digital infrastructure for Russia. A lot of Russian sites have stopped working because a lot of amateur hackers have been attacking people, uh, attacking the Russian websites. Sorry. So yeah, that's basically what's happening. If you are interested in checking out more about this stuff, I'll make sure I'll put a link in the description. You can actually check out the Russian government's Twitter. They have provided resources there. If you are someone who wants to just help out Ukraine, I'm not asking to pick sides, but if you want to, you can go ahead and check this out and do your part if you want to. Once again, this is on a world scale, so we don't know the legality of this, and that's kind of weird because in war, certain illegal acts become extra legal. I mean, Ria is here. Ria, if you could correct me on this, but I don't know what's the legality of a war. So, I mean, like, murder's illegal, but then there's war, which makes it legal. So, anyways, that's a philosophical discussion we'll have for a podcast. But yeah, that's basically it. People have been, yeah. Anyways, next story is still about Ukraine. So, Ukraine government and banks are once again hit with a DDoS attack. Now, if you do not know what a DDoS attack is, this story is actually before the invasion started. So, this is dated for 23rd February. Now, DDoS attack is just basically distributed denial of service attack, which just means that you are visiting the website, or you are sending so much traffic to a specific website that the website has no choice but to go down, if that makes sense. Okay, it's like you're constantly going to the website, you're like, hey website, why don't you give me this, give me this, give me this, and the website, this entire server just goes down. And that's what a DDoS attack does. Now you don't need, now if you're thinking that, hey, that means a single person is constantly, you don't need to do that. There are actually bots. So a single computer can emulate around 100,000 people visiting a website, which if you couple with like a bunch of computers, now you have 1 million things hitting a certain website. If the website infrastructure is like very low cost, and if there are not any DDoS protections, then the website is kind of doomed. Now, a lot of people usually ask me or think about that, hey, why are those annoying captchas? Let me bring up the face cam for this. Have you guys used any captchas lately that, hey, you have to select which is a traffic light or which is a crosswalk? Okay, select all the fire hydrants or select all the chimneys. Those captchas are there to make sure no bot can make an attack. So on our Easterly channel, we have a video about Udemy courses, which is like the most famous viral video of all for Easterly. But yeah, what basically happens in that video is you get, because we are using a bot on Udemy. Udemy is like this; these actions are way too fast for a human to do, and that's why now we're gonna give you a captcha. Now you have to prove you are a human. That's the reason we have to, multiple times. Sometimes we have to prove, especially if someone uses Coinbase or Binance, even, the pain of logging in every single time. You have to prove that you are human. And that's basically, this is the reason. That's basically to protect against DDoS attacks. But hopefully that makes sense. So the next time you see, human, like that option to prove that you are a human, it's basically they are thinking that you are a bot. So yeah, that's it. Next story is once again obviously about Ukraine. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, new data wiping malware used in destructive attacks on Ukraine. So, it's basically a virus. If you have it on your computer, it just wipes your data, and that's basically the story. I once again thought this was interesting because this stuff is right now happening to an actual country. And if you are thinking that, hey, what does that mean? Like, there's a company, sorry, a country's computer where all of these attacks are happening. No, these are happening on normal people's computer, right? Now, let's say tomorrow morning, hopefully, let's hope India does not go to war or no one declares a war on India. But there are continuous attempts by a lot of, outside entities trying to attack India, right? You can very well get a data wiping malware on your laptop. Think about it. How much data do you have on your laptop? Do you have it all backed up? Probably not. So yeah, just make sure your antivirus is updated. And once again, Avast antivirus and McAfee antivirus, they are not antiviruses. They are the virus. Stick to Windows Defender. That's normally I would tell you guys not to use anything Windows related, but Windows Defender is good enough. Stick to Windows Defender. Regularly update your Windows installation, even if it means that you have to keep your laptop aside for 30 minutes. Update your Windows, please. Okay. I know a lot of people who are like, hey, I'm not gonna update my laptop. It's like, okay, just do it. But yeah, that's basically it. The next story is Ukraine links Belarus. Oh my God, Belarusian hackers to phishing targeting its military. Now this is kind of a weird story. It's basically Belarusian hackers, are sending phishing links to Russian military, sorry, Ukrainian military, and they are basically trying to phish them for government records, their accounts, and all that stuff. They're just trying to use phishing to get information. Now, if you just a crash course on phishing, probably this will end up on Instagram. But phishing just basically means it's not the fish, like you don't go and fish. No, phishing starts with a PHISI. That's the word. That's phishing. It just means that an attacker, usually a malicious party, sends you a link. Okay, it can be through email, it can be through WhatsApp, it can be through text, SMS, or even a social media post, right? You click on that link thinking that it will take you to a legitimate website. So for example, I can send you a link which looks like an Instagram.com version of a link. Once you click on that link, you will go to that link which looks like an Instagram login page, and you'll be like, hey, Aman, why is it asking me to log in? And I'll be like, oh, that's weird. Maybe you haven't logged in. Log in, and it has a very funny meme or a very funny cat picture or a picture of whatever I think the user might be interested in. Okay, I can name a lot of people whom, if I told that there's a funny meme behind this website, just log in, they will do it. Okay, and let's face it, our friends do that, right? And that's it. They log in, they are thinking that their ID password is going to Instagram and they are logging in. But in reality, that ID password comes to me because I am the one who's running that server, which looks like Instagram. It's not that difficult. It's actually 3 clicks. Okay, the entire thing is like literally 3 clicks to set it up and just sending a link. So that's what phishing is. You think you are actually on an actual website, but in reality, you are on a different website and your data is being compromised the whole time. That's basically what phishing is, and that's what Belarusian hackers are trying to do. Hopefully, that made sense to all of you. So, do not click suspicious links. by anyone. Only click the link if you trust that person. But that's basically it. Moving back to our main story, let's see what's next. That is not, that was, you should not have seen that. That's actually my YouTube studio. I don't think there's any compromising information in that, but that's fine, I guess. Anyways, moving on to the next story. Yeah, that's my YouTube studio stuff. If you want to see, you can see that. Anyways, anonymous hacktivist, ransomware groups get involved in the in the Ukraine and Russia conflict. As I said, a lot of people are joining in on this. Uh, Sandeep, that's completely fine if you saw that. There's no compromising information there. A lot of people are joining in on this entire, Ukraine versus Russia conflict, and ransomware groups are basically attacking Russia at the moment. If I'm, because in the news recently, it was going on that a lot of hackers are hacking superchargers. You know those electric chargers people have. We don't have that in India much, but in Russia they are attacking the chargers for Teslas and all these electric vehicles, and they're making this like they're making it display a headline, which is I cannot actually say it out loud, but put the Russian is Putin even a prime minister or a president? I'm not sure. But Putin is a blank, insert bad word. Okay? They're actually doing that. They're actually taking down websites. They're taking down bank. And anonymous activists, anonymous is not a single person. It's not even a group. It's just an idea. That's the entire point. Okay? So the next time you read that anonymous did this, it's not the same person, it's not the same group. Okay, it's just an idea of a concept of whatever that person is trying to do. So basically they have warned Russia that, hey Putin, if you do not back down with the war, we will make sure that you go down. So that was in the news recently. But see, the thing with tech news is it's not shown on our daily news channels, which I think they should, because this is pretty much interesting stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. Also, I promised last story for Ukraine, but Ukraine's defense and activists have raised a lot of money, over $4 million in cryptocurrency. So once again, Ukraine's government put out a tweet for asking for donations in crypto, and that's basically it. Okay, Putin is the president. Thank you, Sandeep. But yeah, that's basically it. They have raised a lot of money. People are selling NFTs and donating money to Ukraine. Uh, Apparently, Ukraine is winning the war on the social media front. I have no idea how that's happening in real life, but at least on social media with high morale and stuff, they are winning the war. But that's basically that's basically it. Okay, so that's it about the Ukrainian Russian war. Now we have this week's spicy topic, which is Microsoft updates. Uh, that's basically it. Now I wanted to actually ask people in the chat, how often do you update your Windows PC? I'm assuming all the people here, according to my polls, 95% of the people use Windows, and this is, I'm talking about the Estudely community. So how often do you update your Windows? Sandeep, Ria, and other two people which I have no idea who are watching. Uh, how often do you update your Windows? Once a month? Once in 2 months? Once in 3 months? 6 months? Or do not update at all? Do not care? Are you on Windows 11? Or I don't know. I'll wait for your response. While you guys do that, I'm gonna talk about my friend who recently updated to Windows 11. Windows 11 is kind of a mess. Like if you're coming, or you are okay. Sandeep says she updates Windows very often. Is it your choice, or is it the Windows's choice to update itself? Because when it comes to Windows 10, when it comes to any Microsoft product, you don't have the choice. Like I keep on talking about, hey, just update. A lot of people just pause their updates, right? They're like, okay, I don't want to update, but Windows technically just forces updates to you that, hey, you have to update, and there's no other choice. You have to update. It's, or at least on Linux you have the choice, but it doesn't matter. But on Windows, if you update, you have to restart your computer, and a lot of people are like, that sucks because I'm now working and my computer, if just left alone for like literally 15 seconds, it will self destruct. It will like, okay, I'm gonna restart. And Windows is so notorious about it that they literally will restart your computer even if you're in the middle of a work. Actually, that's not their fault. They do warn you, but a lot of users, my friend for example, she didn't see that warning. She was just working, and usually there's a setting that Windows will not update from work hours. So like from morning 7 to evening 7, it will not update. It will only update when it's idle. But she just left her computer for like at least 2 minutes, and it started updating. And once the Windows update process starts, there's nothing you can do about it because it's all in the background. It's supposed to be in the background, but then it's restarts, and well, you have to stop working for at least 1 hour, depending on how fast your computer is. If your processor you have is an i3 or less with less than 4 cores, you have to basically just sit there for an hour just waiting for the entire thing to update, which kind of sucks. And Windows 11 is, as I said, a mess at the moment because uh, depending on how recent your laptop is. If it's an old laptop, even if it's like a 3 year or 4 year old laptop, if you update to Windows 11, what happened with my friend is the Windows 11 update did not have drivers for internet. Okay, for her to use internet, the drivers, drivers basically mean uh, the pieces of software which talk to hardware devices, between hardware devices and the actual OS. The drivers don't exist for her particular laptop. And now she is into Windows 11. Now, if she wants to get new drivers, she needs internet. Okay, if she wants to downgrade to Windows 10, she needs internet. If she wants to update her current Windows 11 installation to just get the newest version of Windows 11, she needs internet. Okay, but she cannot get internet because she doesn't have the driver for the internet. Now there are ways around this. You can download the driver file on your mobile and use mobile connection to pass the thing. Basically the Wi-Fi adapter doesn't work, and her laptop doesn't have an Ethernet jack. I actually checked the Ethernet jack, the driver doesn't exist as well, so it wouldn't have helped. But it's like that classic message, press F1, keyboard not found. What are you gonna do? The keyboard doesn't exist, how are you gonna press F1? So yeah, those are the bugs. You can eventually fix that with just updating the Windows, but you have to use your Android phone's USB tethering to virtualize Ethernet adapter and all that stuff. But that's Windows for you, and that's why I just wanted to ask you people, why don't you just ditch Windows? I know this is like a one-sided conversation. Also, Sandeep, I read your message in the chat, but I just wanted to provide an alternative to you guys. You don't need to get an Apple device and be like, oh, you have to use Mac OS. No, why don't you just use Linux? And you might be thinking, oh, Linux is, well, what? Why should we use Linux? Do you want us to use terminal? Terminal, those things are scary. Like, do you want us to use wait, I'll show you guys. Do you want us to use terminal? That kind of is like very scary if you think about it. And hopefully I can show it on my screen. So this is a terminal. I don't know if you guys see it. It should be in the middle of your screen. Hopefully this works. I have no idea if you can see it. I can try to maximize it. Okay, hopefully I think you guys can see it. But yeah, so this is the terminal, right? And you guys might be thinking, oh, we have to use this for like everything. Tried that, you helped me, but it didn't work on your system. Sandeep, the reason it didn't work on your system was because we actually didn't because the driver, once again, it's an issue with the drivers. Your laptop didn't recognize the BIOS system, so it's once again, it's kind of a mess. But Linux systems are generally very, very, very stable. No matter what you think about it, Linux can be, they don't have to be just terminal. They are almost like 90% of the time there are terminals, but you don't have to use a terminal. Okay, that's how I started with Ubuntu. There's Ubuntu, there's Linux Mint, there are a lot of other options, but Linux does not mean terminal. I just want you guys to understand that. So just putting it out there, there are a lot of videos online where you can just go ahead and try just Linux. You don't even have to install it, you can just use VirtualBox. So just letting you guys know that's an option. Also, I can let me see if there is, I can show it to you guys. uh, there was this new, like, uh, Linux operating system, and I, let me check. I don't know if I still have it or not. hmm. Like, I watched a video about it recently, but I don't remember what's the name of the OS. So, I mean, I can try to check my history, like watch history live on YouTube, but it was like before 2 3 days, and I don't think I'm gonna find it, but I'm gonna try. Give me like 2 minutes, guys. Um, Also, our live stream should have, like, waiting music. Okay, a bunch of Portal music, game theory, Mac Mini. Also, prime content, right, guys? Just watching me scroll through a lot of stuff. I know you guys can't see my screen. That's because I don't want you guys to see my YouTube. Oh, I found it. Okay, I'm just gonna open up this in online, and let me share my screen. Oh, I think I messed up the. Yeah, okay. I know you guys can see my screen, but like everything's way too messed up to, like, centered in the screen and stuff. So give me 1 second. One of the reasons you should never make changes to a live stream, but it is what it is. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. But yeah, this is Pangolin OS. Okay, now this is actually very interesting. So actually, you can check it out in your website. I'll drop the link for this. But this is an actual Linux operating system, and as you see, it looks really beautiful. There are good animations. There's like a calculator app and stuff, and it looks very similar to Android because it runs on like Material UI for some reason. Let's see. Okay, it's just a basic version. I'm just letting you know, but it works on Pangolin OS. So that's like the desktop environment. But yeah, you can definitely check it out. It's, once again, you guys have to see the animations for yourself. It's like really good and like really pretty. But yeah, as you can see, it has this amazing, like, at the bottom you have this notification bar, just like Windows 10 and stuff, Windows 11, sorry. So yeah, once again, this is an awesome OS. It will soon be available to the public. It's free, once again, but you can, like, check it out yourself. You can even play games on it. So, like, yeah, I think it's really awesome. Anyways, I just wanted to showcase this. So yeah, just letting you know, you guys have a lot of options. Okay, a few things, few, news left, tech news left. So 464 Australian data breaches reported in the OAIC in the latter half of 2021. So basically, a lot of data breaches were there in 2021, but we are finding about it right now in 2022. Data breaches, be safe. That's basically, you guys know the drill. Next, cookware giant Mayer discloses cyber attack that impacted employee. Once again, this happened in 2021. They're disclosing it right now in 2022. So once again, be very careful of where you give your email address and your data. Just be mindful of that. DNA data of sexual assault victims exposed in breach at US laboratory. Once again, it's a data breach. This is the kind of data breach that you cannot do anything about. If your password gets exposed, you change your password. If your email gets exposed, you change your email, albeit very difficult. But if your DNA gets exposed, what are you gonna do? And these are people who have already suffered. These are sexual assault victims. So once again, it's the responsibility of the company or the government who oversees the data. That's why I suggest that, guys, do not trust a company with your data, because they will always prioritize other things over your data. But once again, that's it. Okay, jaw dropping Coinbase security bug allowed users to steal unlimited cryptocurrency. Excuse me. Okay, so basically, there was a vulnerability that when you take out money from Coinbase, you can actually change in the post request what wallet you want to take the money out of without asking for any authentication, which in the hacking terms is a web authentication bug. So basically, you can technically take money out of any Coinbase account without needing that person's password. So I can take money out of my friend's Coinbase account if I just knew his wallet address, which is technically you can take up money from anyone's account. So once again, I don't think anyone was impacted through it. But yeah, this person who reported this bug to Coinbase, he got around $250,000. So good stuff. Keep on finding vulnerabilities, guys. You will be rich. This is Bug Bounty 101. But yeah, Chinese firms caught using spyware to track employee job hunting and identity staff who may be about to resign. So once again, this is a very dystopian story, but a lot of people in China are already used to it. So basically, if you are running a laptop or a computer given by your employer, right? They already have a lot of malware and spyware on that laptop, which makes sure that it records everything you do, right? So if you're using that work laptop for anything else you do, that everything is recorded. Okay, so if you have a laptop from your company, right? A lot of people that I know have laptops which are given by the company. If you search anything on it, the your boss will know. I can guarantee it. Whatever you do, even if it's an incognito browser, whatever you do, I don't care. Every single file on it, every single that belongs to the company, boy, the your boss will know. I can bet. Okay, so make sure you don't use your company laptop for personal purposes or your personal laptop for company purposes. It's just a mess. Okay, study shows that online privacy has become a cause of inequality. We This specific topic we are gonna go into detail about this in podcast, but it just basically makes trying to say that online privacy is not equal for everyone. A lot of people don't have the luxury of privacy, and I know a lot. I keep on bashing a lot of people who actually get Redmi, Oppo, and Vivo devices. That hey, why do you have a Redmi phone? There are so many ads on Redmi phone. But you have to think about it. If some person cannot afford that specific, the reason Redmi phones are cheaper, the reason Vivo and Oppo phones are cheaper is because they sell data and ads, right? If you're wondering why the Poco F1 or Poco X1 or whatever that model number is, how can they give you Snapdragon 888 or Snapdragon 8 Gen 1? How are they even affording it? Well, they are not. They are using your data and they are selling it and they are making more money. You might as well have paid that money to get an iPhone at that point. The reason Windows 10 and Windows 11 are free to upgrade from Windows 7 is because Windows earns more money from your data. Okay, even if you think that, oh, I'm not gonna buy Windows Microsoft Office, I'm just gonna pirate it, they don't care. Your data is more worth to them, right? And I just wanted to make that point that privacy is a luxury not many people have. I would still suggest people, if they have, let's say, completely fictional example, if they have 10,000 rupees to buy a phone, might as well get a Motorola or Nokia, to not get a Redmi, unless you want to like game on it. But at that point, why are you even gaming on it if you have a budget of 10,000 rupees? Okay, if it's a phone just for phone purposes, might as well get a good phone software wise than spending all that money on hardware that you are never gonna use. because you are still selling your data. I just wanted to make that point that privacy is a luxury, and I have been guilty of, chastising people or blaming people that, hey, why are you not taking your privacy seriously? A lot of people don't have the choice. uh, if you don't have the choice, that's fine, but if you're ignorant about privacy, that's your fault. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that if you are ignorant about privacy, it is 100% your fault that you are ignorant about privacy. And I think you need to do better when it comes to privacy. You need to do better when it comes to saving your passwords. But yeah, that's just basically it. It's just a few more stories to go. Believe me, I want to like just finish this up as well. But yeah, anyways, last three stories to go. Microsoft confirms Windows wiping tool leaves user data on disk. Uh, Excuse me. Okay. So Microsoft has this Windows wiping tool. Okay, so basically when you're trying to sell your laptop or when you're gonna give your laptop away to someone else, there's this Windows wiping tool that you use to make sure that the entire hard disk is formatted. Okay, but the issue with that is when you use that tool, that data is still there, but just hidden. And someone found this out, and Windows is trying to fix this bug, and it should be in the next update. So just letting you know, if you're ever thinking about selling your old laptop, make sure you format the drives properly. Okay, and format, I don't mean just quick format, that doesn't work. That doesn't actually delete the data. Make sure you use proper wiping tools, because a format done in 5 minutes is not actually in format. To format an entire drive which is full, let's say 100 gigs, you at least need more than 15 minutes to format it. So I'm just letting you guys know, use proper tools to wipe out your entire data. And that's basically it. Okay, data protection becomes a fundamental right in Brazil. Really good thing for Brazil. So from now on, data protection is a fundamental right of every single citizen in the Brazil, living in the Brazilian area. Hopefully this happens to India. As of now, India does not have a data protection as a fundamental right. It's not even a right. There's no privacy right. There's no right to privacy. But that kind of sucks. Personal opinion time, just letting you guys know. Right to freedom, right to freedom of speech should be accompanied with right to privacy, because those two things go hand in hand. But that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that's basically it. Okay, last story of the week. Pakistan's opposition rejects toughened new social media law. So there's apparently a social media law over there, and it's like you guys can read about this. But people can now be basically can be arrested based on what they post on social media. So now you have to verify your identity on social media, and you cannot just randomly use your freedom of speech to say whatever you want. So that's basically it, and that's it. You guys can once again read about all of this. Once again, I keep on forgetting to put links in the description, so you can remind me if you want. But yeah, that's basically it. uh, Thank you so much for watching. For people who still stuck around to the end, well, thanks. I don't think we had much viewers today, but it's fine. If you are watching this in the future, a live replay, make sure you are in one of our Telegram communities. You can join them. Links in the description, and you can also subscribe to us, because subscriptions, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully, once I start, getting once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I can monetize the channel, and then I can, well, put that money earned into more projects, because at the moment I don't have a source of income, at least when it comes to this channel. So that's basically it. Anyways, you can subscribe if you like, share this video if you want to, if you liked it. If you liked it, use the like button or use the dislike button. It doesn't really matter, because the dislike counter is gone. But yeah, that's it. Once again, thank you so much for watching, people. I will see you next week.